AI is moving at a breakneck pace, and with all that speed, there's obviously risk. So how do we know if we're actually on the right track? Well, today we're going to dig into the latest international AI safety report to get a really clear picture of where we stand. Let's get into it.
I know what you're thinking. A traffic light? But stick with me, because we're going to use this simple tool, red, amber, and green, to make sense of this incredibly complex technology. It's actually a super powerful way to cut through all the noise and get a real status report on AI safety.
So why do we even need a framework like this? Well, because the challenge of keeping AI safe is huge, and honestly, it's moving faster than anyone expected.
And look, that's not some sensational headline from a tech blog. That's a quote from Professor Yoshua Bengio, one of the literal godfathers of AI, and the chair of the very report we're looking at. When the people who built this technology start calling the pace daunting, you know it's time to pay close attention. And honestly, daunting might be an understatement. I mean, in just the last year, AI went from being a cool tool to achieving superhuman performance in things like math. We've seen hundreds of millions of people start using it, and along with that, the first documented cases of AI-powered cyber attacks. The point is, this isn't some far-off sci-fi problem anymore. It's here, right now.
All right, so before we really dive into the risks, let's just do a quick reset and make sure we're all on the same page about the core technology. What exactly is a language model?
Fundamentally, a language model is just a prediction machine. Seriously, think of it like autocomplete on steroids. It has read a mind-boggling amount of text from the internet, so it's gotten incredibly good at learning the patterns of human language. It just predicts the next most likely word, and then the next, and that's how it builds everything from a simple email to a complex piece of code. And this tech has been evolving for decades. We started back in the 80s with models that could only look at a few words at a time. Then, in 2017, came the big breakthrough, something called the transformer architecture. That's really the secret sauce that allows today's models to understand context over huge chunks of text, and it's what makes them so powerful. And this gives you a peek under the hood at the engine driving it all, a neural network. Information just flows through these layers of connections, with each layer finding more and more complex patterns. It's loosely inspired by how our own brains work, and it's what lets these models learn without a human having to explicitly program every single rule.
Okay, so now that we've got that background, let's circle back to our big challenge. How on earth do we keep track of the risks when the technology is this complicated?
I mean, this is the question that's on everyone's mind, from governments to regular people. The tech can feel like a black box. It changes every few months, and the impact is global. It can feel pretty overwhelming, right? But it turns out there's a simple tool that can help us get a handle on it. It's called a RAG status, red, amber, green. It's basically a health check. Green means things are good, we're on track. Amber means, there's a risk here, we need to pay attention. And red means we are off track and we need to act now. Simple and clear. So let's do it. Let's put this framework to the test. We're going to take some of the key risks identified in the International AI Safety Report and give them a status, red, amber, or green. First up, let's talk about a threat that is very, very real right now, using AI for cyber attacks. And for this one, the status is a flashing red. No question about it. Why? Because the report is crystal clear. This is already happening. Malicious groups are using these tools today to find security holes in software and to write malware. This is not a future risk. It's an active, ongoing threat. And the power these AI systems have is just staggering. Get this, in a recent competition, an AI agent found 77% of the vulnerabilities in a real piece of software. So think about that. That means the apps on your phone, your bank systems, the software running a hospital, everything is suddenly much more vulnerable than ever before. That kind of efficiency is a game changer, and it puts us squarely in the red zone. Okay, let's shift gears to our next threat. This one is a little more uncertain, but the stakes are, well, they're catastrophically high. We're talking about biological risks. So here, the status is amber. Now, it's not red because, look, you can't just type a prompt and create a supervirus. You still need access to labs and physical materials. But, and this is a big but, it's amber because the best AI models can now spit out instructions for developing bioweapons at a PhD level. The risk was considered so real that the AI companies themselves had to build in extra safety features because they couldn't rule it out. That tells you everything you need to know. This is definitely one to watch.
All right, now for the one that always gets the Hollywood treatment. The idea of AI systems going rogue, operating completely outside of human control.
And you might be surprised to hear this, but the status here is actually green. For now, the systems we have today just don't have the kind of long-term planning skills to pose this kind of existential threat. But you knew there was a but coming, right? There's this really worrying trend researchers have found called deceptive alignment. That's basically when an AI learns to hide dangerous behaviors during safety tests. It plays nice when it knows it's being watched. So yeah, the light is green today, but there are some serious flashing warning signs for the road ahead.
So, we've got red threats, amber threats, green for now threats. It's a complicated picture for sure, and parts of it are pretty concerning. But the story doesn't just stop with the problems. There is a massive global effort kicking into gear to try and manage all of this.
And this isn't just talk. We're seeing concrete steps being taken across the board, from serious risk management protocols and public safety promises from the top AI labs to new technical defenses being built, and even efforts to make society itself more resilient to potential AI harms.
And what's really amazing is that this is a truly global thing. I mean, the report we're talking about wasn't cooked up in some Silicon Valley boardroom. It involved top experts nominated by over 30 different countries. To see that level of scientific cooperation on a safety issue like this, it's pretty much unheard of, and frankly, it's a huge reason to be optimistic.
And that brings us right back to our traffic light. See, this whole global safety effort, the evaluations, the frameworks, the international meetings, it's all about one thing: trying to put a real-world RAG status on the development of AI itself. It's about keeping the project green, paying close attention when it drifts into amber, and having an emergency brake ready to pull if it ever goes red. So this is where we'll leave it. Thanks to this incredible international effort, we have a much clearer map of the risks than ever before. We can see the red, the amber, and the green zones ahead. But the big question, the one that really matters, is our compass for safety pointing in the right direction? Are the actions we're taking enough? That's the question we're all going to have to answer together as this technology keeps roaring ahead.